Weight loss tip number 2. The supermarkets are ripping you off. Believing cost of living, it's a bugger. Everything has gone up and trying to eat clean and healthy, well, it's a nightmare. We know, but listen up.
You still need to eat and spend money on food, but you don't need to line the supermarket's pockets. The same greedy supermarkets claiming billions of profits each year in a cost of living crisis.
We know most people think, I'm already skinned. I'm not going to go to the butcher and spend money on the meat there. I'm just going to go to the supermarket and spend money on the meat in the supermarket, ideally the cheapest range.
Or those farm shop tomatoes are way too pricey. We'll just grab a multi-pack price when we do our weekly shop. Now, obviously, not everyone has access to a good greengrocer, butcher or fishmonger. And sure, a lot of it depends on your disposable income, which for some people may be more than others. So I suppose this tip is for those of you who can just about do it, but are wondering whether it's worth the extra cost.
Here's what you need to consider. The price of meat at the butcher reflects its actual cost. It's exactly what it's worth. Same with vegetables. The price of vegetables at the greengrocer is exactly what they are worth. Now, we know the supermarket can look like a bargain sometimes, but something is up.
If you're buying your meat and vegetables in the supermarket for less than what they're actually worth, compared to buying them directly from the greengrocer or the butcher, sure, you may be saving a little bit of money, but you are losing out in other ways.
Here's a shocker. Supermarkets care less about you and your health and far more about making profit, even if it's at your expense. For example, by injecting water to meat and vegetable to make them look bigger, juicier, and a little bit more attractive for you to buy as a customer.
This results in lower prices for you, but significantly lower quality too. Supermarkets also have to negotiate in bulk to be able to distribute their products at those prices. And when it comes to quality control, by the time these products hit the shelves, the bar of quality isn't that high.
Also, unlike local produce, supermarkets also have to transport the product sometimes across the country, sometimes imported from another country. How can a product that's been mass-produced, preserved, injected with water, how can all of this, which results in higher costs,
By the way, all costs that you're paying as a customer,
how can it be cheaper than a product you're buying locally, directly from the farmer? I'll tell you how. You're being ripped off and corners are being cut to make it cheaper.
it's the same when it comes to transporting food from another country as opposed to buying it locally. Supermarket transportation costs are massive, and these costs are being passed on to you, and yet their product is cheaper?
Something has to give. Corners are being cut and you are being ripped off.
And lastly, it's not the greengrocers and the butchers claiming billions of pounds in profits year on year. It's the supermarkets.
We can tell you from our experience that we felt the difference ourselves when we switched between local produce and stuff we buy from the supermarket.
Ironically, as supermarkets have consistently raised prices and reduced packaging size during the cost of living crisis, now we find the gap is narrowing, and in comparison, the butcher and the greengrocer aren't that expensive anymore.
Although it's true, you go to the supermarket and you may think you've spent a little bit less, there are a few things we felt straight away. For example, 2 chicken breasts from the butcher were as big as 3 chicken breasts from the supermarket, especially after you've finished cooking them and all the water have been sweating out.
Supermarket meat also gave us night sweats, bad tummies, and potentially gave us more cortisol in our bodies, which is not surprising when you read what conditions the animals are kept in and what toxic chemicals they're exposed to.
Now, it's true it may be different in your local area between whatever supermarkets are available to you and what you have around you on your doorstep. But in general, buying locally is always going to be higher quality, and usually the people at the butcher or the greengrocer, sometimes the farmers themselves, can usually tell you the origin of the meat and veg and what processes were used during their production.
Do you know anyone else who cuts costs by shopping for everything at the supermarket despite having really good options on their doorstep? Why not share this video with them and help make a positive change to their nutrition and health?
Thanks for watching. For more weight loss tips like this, visit our YouTube channel or head over to bellyproof.com/tips.